Hi guys, it's James here. Yeah, I know it's been a minute. So I thought I'd come back, and I had a few videos lined up that I finally, lists that I finally got together. And let me see. There. So, a few videos that a few lists that I finally got back together and I really wanted to do. I think one of them's a spotlight, one of them is another list about magic cards, and at least two are for movies. So this one is, I'll call this like Hidden Gems The Return, or The Return of Hidden Gems, just because I don't have a specific title for it, but it is 10 more hidden movies I would consider hidden gems that I watched probably in the last few years. So starting off with number 10. Number 10 is a film from 2012 called Upside Down. This one stars Jim Sturgis. You probably saw him in Across the Universe. And Kirsten Dunst, always of Interview with the Vampire fame. And several other things. And this one is sort of, there's two worlds. I don't know if you ever saw that indie movie, Another Earth. It's sort of like two worlds that exist like this, pretty much. So there's people who live on this world and people who live on this world, and it's sort of a class system. Rich people up here, poor people down here. And two people end up meeting. They go up on a mountain. They're each of their respective mountains, and they meet and they fall in love, and they find a way to spend time together, either going up to her world or she comes down to his world. He's the poorer class, she's the upper class. The only problem is they can't really exist in each other's worlds because he goes up to her world and he has to wear like weighted boots just because of the way gravity works. It's a beautiful looking movie with a nice sci-fi fantasy element to it, and a lot of it is their falling in love, getting to know each other, fall in love, and dealing with the class system, how they're going to coexist. I'll leave it at that. It is a, I wouldn't go so far as to say it's a visual spectacle, but it is a pretty beautiful film. So that is Upside Down. Okay, number 9 is a film, Australian film from 2008 called Lake Mungo. And this is one I heard about on it was either the Cinerealist podcast or the Rotcast that was the predecessor to that. And it's sort of a mockumentary film about ghost sightings, supernatural sightings, and I don't know how much I want to spoil with this one. I mean, there's a little mystery behind the movie because the filmmaker has done nothing else since, which is a shame because it's a good movie. But this is sort of, there's what I will say is the film has elements of supernatural ghost sightings that may or may not be real, may be fabricated, or may not be. So take from that what you will, but I give it a good recommendation. It's very well done the way they lay out the movie and pace it. So that's all I'll say. I'll leave a lot of it to the imagination. Leave an air of mystery to it. So we go number 8. Number 8, we have a film from 2021 called Another Girl. Now I did a list a while back with a movie called Ask Me Anything, starring Britt Robertson and like Christian Slater and Justin Long and stuff. And that was sort of about a girl who decided to put her whole life online. She did a blog under an assumed identity. And okay, I have to spoil that movie, but I won't spoil this movie. So, spoiler. If you remember, I don't know if I spoiled it the last time I saw it, but if you've seen that movie, or if you want to see that movie, and I would recommend you do, that one came out in 2014. And at the very end of the movie, it sort of stops. She narrates the movie, and it sort of stops at one point, and her mother picks up from narrating, saying, a lot of this really happened, but the names were different, or the events didn't exactly happen this way, and blah, 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 blah. She got a call, she left, and never came home. And will someone please tell me when my daughter was coming home? So, this movie picks up, I'm not sure, maybe a few years later, with people who, a girl who discovered this girl's blog and discovers the blog and reaches out to her to say, is this real? Because they made a movie about it. And it turns out that what is it? I'm trying to phrase it properly. Sort of like the movie exists, the story didn't happen, and the girl behind it, she put out all this misinformation. She actually lives, she begins corresponding with her. She lives a normal life. She did this because of this, and just basically going back and forth between this girl and the girl from the first story. And their lives get sort of very intertwined, and the mysterious person exerts a great deal of influence on this new impressionable girl, and sort of her life starts to spiral out of control a bit as she gets closer to actually meeting the girl from the first film, first story, if you will. And I will stop there. I would recommend this. It is a good movie. My only disappointment with it is it takes away from the emotional gut punch that Ask Me Anything gave me. But it was an interesting way to follow it up. So that's Another Girl, number 8. Number 7, we have a film from 2022 called The Outfit. Watched this a year or two ago with my wife. It's the one I wanted to see when it was out in theaters, although it didn't come here to Chatham. This is the movie that stars, what's his name? Mark Rylance. Mark Rylance and Zoe Deutsch. And this is sort of, it takes place in a tailor shop for suits and stuff like that. And the main character Leonard, is a tailor. He's a cutter, or they have it in quotes, cutter, and in England, and sort of he runs this out. Well, they call it The Outfit. He's a tailor in a shop, but they also use the back of the shop for organized crime activities. They come in, get messages from the outfit, and actually no, it doesn't take place in England. It's in Chicago. He's English. He's from England. Comes to Chicago, so it's sort of like the organized crime, like Al Capone and all that stuff like that. And they're getting messages from the outfit, and they're sending messages to the outfit. I'll stop using air quotes. And it all takes place pretty much in this one shop, and what goes on between them and the organized crime is really interesting, and you get to learn about Leonard's backstory, which is fascinating, but I won't say anything. So, very very well done drama with some drama, heightened elements, not quite a thriller or action. So, there's The Outfit. Number 6 from 2022. It's a Netflix film called Mr. Harrigan's Phone, based on the Stephen King novella, Mr. Harrigan's Phone. And I saw this before I read the novella. The novella was pretty much like that. When they made the movie, they were very faithful to the novella. I prefer the film. Thankfully, I saw it first. It's the one kid from It, Jaden Martell, and Mr. Harrigan is played by Donald Sutherland. Sort of a kid, he befriends a rich old billionaire, and he has a cell phone, and he gives Mr. Harrigan a cell phone as a gift. Mr. Harrigan uses it for stocks and finds it interesting, and then Mr. Harrigan dies. Well, the kid, what's his name? Craig. He's bullied at school. And after Mr. Harrigan dies, he buries his phone with him. And after he dies, he's bullied. He sends a text to Mr. Harrigan. And Mr. Harrigan somehow responds. And so he complains that he's being bullied. And then the bully mysteriously dies. And this happens a few times throughout the movie. He'll send a text message, and he'll get a text message back, and then a problem, usually someone being killed, is mysteriously solved. And it's very creepy how this occurs. And it's one of those more drama than horror, I guess, for Stephen King, but very interesting. It was in the novella, book of novellas called If It Bleeds, and two of them I didn't read. Well, three of them I didn't read. Two of them hadn't been adapted. One was Mr. Harrigan's Phone. The other one was The Life of Chuck, which I highly recommend. Okay, so that was Mr. Harrigan's Phone. Number 5, we have a film from 2023 called The Shift. This was done by Angel Studios, so it's a faith-based film, but it's not in your face. This one stars Neil McDonough, Christopher Polaha, and Christopher Polaha. You probably I had seen him in various TV shows. I think he was on the TV show North Shore, is what I knew him mostly from, I believe. He gets. I think he's in an accident. He's in an accident, and he is pulled from his world into another one. And they call it being shifted. And he's introduced to the benefactor. I'm not going to use air quotes for it. The benefactor, who is sort of another name for like Satan or the devil, and he controls all these worlds where he can shift people in and out of their reality, in and out of their world into another one, like a parallel dimension. And it's sort of kind of a post-apocalyptic world that he gets pulled into. And where everyone's waiting for the benefactor, religion is outlawed, and he's slowly gathering like scripture or parts of the Bible and like organizing them in secret, and sort of like becoming part of the resistance that wants to push back against the benefactor. And it is a really interesting movie. Sean Astin's actually also in this, plays his friend in the movie, and Neil McDonough does a fantastic job as the benefactor. It's a really well done alternate reality post-apocalyptic kind of movie with a really, really sweet ending. So that is The Shift. Number 4, we have a film from 2022. This was a movie written and directed by Paul Schrader, the guy who wrote Taxi Driver and has done a ton of other movies. Another one, another list I did a while ago. He wrote and directed. It starred Oscar Isaac, and it was the Card Counter. This was, I think, his follow-up, or one of his follow-ups to that. And it stars Joel Edgerton and Sigourney Weaver. Joel Edgerton is a gardener on Sigourney Weaver's estate. Very rich woman, very well, highly cultivated garden, and they like win awards every year, and it's very, very high society kind of thing. And he has a sort of a mysterious past. He's asked to mentor Sigourney Weaver's, I guess, granddaughter, who is, I guess, part African American. And they get to know each other, and but Joel Edgerton's character sort of has a mysterious past, and I believe you see part of this in the trailer. And sort of he was raised and was part of like white supremacist gang or group or whatever, and he sort of became an FBI informant, turned on them, then got put into witness protection, and this is where he's been ever since as a gardener. And that's sort of woven throughout the film, but it's really a gorgeous character piece that like Joel Edgerton just blows you away in this movie. So that's Master Gardener. Number 3 is a film from 2023. It was my number 1 of that year. It's called Nefarious. Sorry, my dogs. Jesse James is just randomly chewing stuff from his toy box. Nefarious stars Sean Patrick Flannery and what's his name? Jordan Belfi. And it starts with a guy in a like psychiatrist. I think he jumps out of the window of his office. He commits suicide. And Jordan Belfi worked for him or worked with him, and he sort of takes his place going to interview a death row inmate played by Sean Patrick Flannery. And Sean Patrick Flannery's character is a serial killer who's on death row and wants to tell his story. Oh, sorry, messed with my light. And wants to tell his story, and he basically is confessing that he is possessed by a demon, and that's what made him kill all these people. Just give me 1 second. Sorry about that. He wants to give his confession, get someone to listen to his story, tell his story, write a book. And that's a little bright. There we go. And that's pretty much the whole movie, is them in the prison setting, and Jordan Belfi's asking him questions, the other guy's answering, and once or twice the demon lets the real guy communicate, because to show like he doesn't understand what's going on or why he's in prison, and then the demon takes back control. It's another technically faith-based movie, but another one that's not in your face, and it's more of, I guess it'd be more on the thriller edge, this one. Very well done. Like I said, it was my number 1 of that year. Personally, and just fantastic award-worthy performance by Sean Patrick Flannery of Boondock Saints fame. Okay, so that was Nefarious. Number 2, a film from 2013, which I finally saw last year, called Coherence. An indie film made very cheap, but very well done. And I had heard about it for years, and we're in Windsor at the mall, and I saw the DVD there for like 40 or 50 bucks. I was like, there's no way I can justify paying that much for this movie, not having seen it. So I ended up watching it online, loved it, and then purchased it through Apple TV, and I think it was like 20 bucks maybe. So, but this one is sort of like, all takes place in one house party, or at one house party, and it stars some people you wouldn't recognize, some people you would. Nicholas Brendan, who recently passed away, played Xander on Buffy. Elizabeth Grayson, who played Amanda on Highlander and Highlander the Raven. But I don't believe you'd recognize. I don't believe you'd recognize the main girl or any of the other. Well, not the main girl, but because it's an ensemble cast. Anyway, a comet passes overhead, and weird stuff starts to happen. The power goes out, then comes back on, and they go outside to check around the neighborhood, and when some of them leave, they'll go towards a dark spot on the street, and then they approach a house that looks just like theirs, and there's people inside that looks just like them. The problem is, every time they leave, this is sort of revealed throughout the movie, so spoiler. Every time they leave, they're coming back to a different reality. Another one that plays with parallel dimensions. And this happens all throughout the movie, to the point where there's really only, how many friends? 8 friends. So by the end of the movie, there's only one friend, one of the 8, that is still in the original house because they never left. The other 7 people are either 2 or 3 of them are from the same reality, or they're all from different realities. And it's very, very cool, very well done, and oh man, just one of those mind screw movies. Coherence, highly recommended. Number 1, oh, I love this movie so much. From 2022, it's called Fall. They've put out a couple trailers for the sequel, Fall 2. I can't remember what the subtitle is. This one, basically, one girl, it opens with her free climbing with her brother. He falls and dies. And a year later, she's still in a depression funk, and her best friend comes to get her out of it by saying, "Come on, we're gonna go climb this tower in the middle of the desert, 2,000-something foot tower." And so she convinces her to go, and so they climb up this tower, and most of the movie is them just about at the top of the tower, and stuff starts to go wrong. This movie, basically, that feeling you get when you're up too high or you think you might fall, you get that feeling through about 95% of this movie, just watching the movie. It's very, very incredibly tense. And even though you know that, you find out behind the scenes that they were only up like 100 feet or so, or even less than that in reality. They did such a good job making you think they're at the top, nearly at the top of this 2,000 foot tower, and oh man, it is so good. The one girl, let me see, 2 girls, let's see, Mason Gooding you'd recognize from, I guess, son of Cuba Gooding Jr. I didn't know that. I had seen him in like a movie or TV show. The blonde girl in it, I had seen her in Project Almanac, that time-traveling movie. The brunette, I had not. And then Jeffrey Dean Morgan plays the blonde girl's father, who she's sort of estranged. But yeah, cannot recommend this movie or most of them enough. It is so tense, so exciting, and I'm interested to see the second one because I think it is tied to this one. I believe it still looks almost as tense as the original. So I hope someone watches this. I know it's been a couple years. So like, comment, subscribe, and toodles.